You have been wondering where the sun is in parts of southern Ontario and southern Quebec. It has been very cloudy. We saw a hint of it this weekend, and there's a little bit more sunshine in our newsroom as well. Are you ready for the big special guest? Drum roll, please, everybody. And if you're sitting down, she's back. Rachel Schoutsen, everybody. Do you remember 15 months since she went off on mat leave? Yep. Your first daughter, Emma. We have missed you so much. Aww. I got to say, we often have played your stories.
I've seen them.
Since you've been gone, just because we miss you. You're back. First day back from mat leave. Welcome.
It feels so good to be back. You know, I was the kid who dreamed about working at the Weather Network, so to return feels great. I feel like I'm a new woman now, but I'm very happy to be here.
It has been, and interestingly enough, we have a little something for you, and I got to tell you a story after this about Rachel's, first of all, congratulations, balloons. Your daughter Emma is beautiful. We had to sparkle up the newsroom as well to, and I got to say, when I came back from one of my mat leaves, I was gifted this sort of cheesy gift.
Okay.
In case the emotions run wild. Mostly it's going to be us with happy tears. There's a bunch of Kleenexes. There you go.
Thank you. I am a very emotional mom.
Because now you get to eat chocolate in peace today without a toddler around. You get a whole bunch of it.
Oh my gosh. You know, I've already started telling Emma that this is spicy. Spicy.
Just for mommy.
You won't
Just
like
for
this.
mommy.
This is spicy.
And I got to tell everybody a story here. You actually went into labor early, and I remember you were actually working the day that Emma was born.
Yeah, so my mat leave officially started the day that my daughter came into the world. So I've been gone for 15 months, but you know what? Now that I'm here, I'm in the newsroom, I'm back with my TWN family, and of course all of these amazing viewers. Feels like I never even left, and I'm so excited to be back here on the morning show. I'll be here with you every weekend, every Saturday and Sunday morning. Of course, Chris St. Clair, he did such an amazing job on this show, so I hope to bring the same education, the same forecast, the same storytelling. I'm pumped. I can't wait to do it.
She came back better than ever, back in action, didn't miss a beat, no rust at all.
Thank you.
What have you been up to this year? We'd love to hear about your year.
Let me show you a little bit of it, okay? So this was us, you know, enjoying. This was that big snowstorm that hit. I think it was January 14th or
Baby's first snow.
Yeah, that was Emma's first big snowstorm. We lived outside during the last 15 months. It was so awesome. And Saf, hey, do you recognize that sprinkler?
I love this. So Rachel came over for a visit with me and my kids, and I gifted that to you.
Yeah, that was our little sprinkler. You know, we went to the zoo. We went to so many parks. I had so many mom friends, including you, Saf, who supported me so much through this time. And that was actually just taken a few weeks ago at Spencer Smith Park in Burlington. Emma's new wagon. We were playing I'm Gonna Get Ya.
Rachel, can you pass me the Kleenexes? I think I might. I think I need more than you. It's bringing back good memories for me.
It was such a great time. You know, we went to cottages, we swam in pools, we swam in lakes. The summer was amazing. The snowstorms were awesome. Yeah, it was
like every good weather person. You were out and enjoying it.
Yeah, to all kinds of weather. She has a huge personality. She honestly talks with her whole body. No idea where she gets it from.
Apple doesn't fall that far from the tree.
But she looks like her daddy, that's for sure. She looks like her daddy.
Well, so this might be actually the first time that Emma is watching you on TV. Ready?
Yes.
Hi, Emma.
Hi.
Mommy's back, and she'll be home soon. But first, we got to get her talking a little bit about
move
weather.
The balloons out of the way.
So we mentioned a little bit of the lack of sun in Ontario. We have our brightness in our newsroom, but when is the sun going to return in parts of Ontario? It's a dreary forecast.
It is, and you know, it's because it's been so mild. We see a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, but hopefully today, Sunday, we're going to see a few peaks of sunshine.
Crossed. Maybe you'll bring us some good luck. It's been since December the 21st that those of you in Toronto have seen the sunshine, and this mild Pacific flow is to blame for the country running a bit of a fever. We'll talk more about the rain in BC. Thanks for joining us here on the weekend at the Weather Network. We have welcomed back Rachel Schoutsen after maternity leave. If you've been watching throughout the show, we are also joined by Kevin McKay. And for your first real hit back, Rachel, we are having you go through the nitty-gritty of the massive scope and scale of this historic and deadly stretch of weather in California. We're going to show you some of the pictures now. It is just unbelievable.
It really is remarkable. And you know, I think it would be easier if it was just one system came through, created a mess, and left. But this is an atmospheric river. It is really never ending. I was looking at the 7-day forecast for San Francisco, and every single day there's rain in the forecast. Unfortunately, this band of moisture stretching over 4,000 kilometers across the Pacific, and Kevin, it has created over $1 billion in damage in San Francisco.
Wow, so much to unpack.
Yeah, and much of California in the driest areas are well over 500% of their normal precipitation over the last 10 days. This is going to be something to watch.
And Kevin, you were just mentioning how we can get all this additional snow. To keep it into perspective, a place like Mammoth Mountain in the Eastern Sierras since Boxing Day has seen 3 meters, 10 feet of snow. So it is an incredible amount, and it will be an interesting story too come the spring. And guys, another interesting story, well, we have got a huge storm coming for Atlantic Canada. We'll tell you the details just ahead.
Okay, in the next 4 minutes, I will give you 2 big surprises. One, I guess they're both welcoming back old friends. One is that of the sunshine, which we have been, well, waiting for a really, really long time. It has made an appearance once again back in southern Ontario. This was a scene in Port Stanley. Saturday evening, a gorgeous sunset, and there's one more little surprise we've already alluded to throughout the hour. We have another old friend joining us. Rachel Schoutsen is back with us, folks. She is going to be your permanent mainstay friend here on the morning show on the weekends on the Weather Network. And she's just come back after mat leave. And I wish we had, as we were just saying, a giant snowstorm for you to cover on your first day back. We have the polar opposite, though.
We really do. You know, I love tracking snowstorms. It is my favorite weather element. I know a lot of the meteorologists here, they're big thunderstorm people, but doesn't a snowstorm just get you excited?
It's funny. I remember you saying, actually, and this conversation has stuck with me for years, that you love a big snowstorm because nothing else can transform the landscape like that.
That is a Rachel Schoutsen quote.
I do remember you saying that. Now, we are talking about a horse of a different color today. You are a winter enthusiast, and on mat leave, I'm sure you were out on the ski slopes or the snowboard slopes with your baby in hand, maybe doing some cross-country skiing, maybe no downhill, but right now, not the case for that in a lot of places. It's the exact opposite.
No, and you know, a lot of the time we look at the Great Lakes because we want to see the ice coverage, and it tells a huge story, of course, when it comes to our temperatures. And as we look at the Great Lakes as a whole, we only see 3% covered in ice. On this date, 1981 is the record high for coverage, ice coverage, 45%. Lake Ontario, not even 1% covered in ice. And you can look at some of the images here. It has been dull, it has been dreary, it's been very mild air bringing in a lot of moisture, and there certainly isn't anyone playing a game of shinny on the shores of Lake Ontario, that's for sure.
But what about a game of hide and seek? And that's finally what we did when we found the sunshine. Our producer Leanne caught a glimpse of that illustrious sunshine at Jack Darling Park in Mississauga yesterday, and as it broke through that cloud deck, we finally got to see a sight we haven't seen in a very long time, and that is seeing across the lake to a clear vantage point of the city of Toronto. Yeah, so it's quite nice. And if you've been counting the days, you'd be correct if you'd say it feels like it's been about a month. That's what people have been saying to me on the street. When's that sunshine going to come back? Feels like it's been nearly a month. You are absolutely correct.
I know, it's pretty impressive to think that we have not seen a day yet this year. We've been 8 days into January where we've seen a good amount of sunshine. It hasn't been since December 4th. Since London has seen a mainly sunny day. It really is impressive, and I think for some people it is a bit sad too. We want that sunshine to come back, but Saf, as we look at the long-range forecast, there really is no big signal that's going to change the weather from looking like this. 0 in Oakville, 0 in Toronto, -1 in Newmarket, mild conditions, nothing really huge bringing in that cool plunge of Arctic air.
And climatologically speaking, this is almost nearing that coldest part of the year. And you were, we'll play a game of what would you rather? Would you rather not having a month of sunshine and that sort of marginal mild temperatures? Or have you heard about your friends and family in Edmonton, Alberta, folks across the country? Over 40 days without being above the freezing mark in Edmonton, Alberta, and really no end in sight in this deep freeze for many there. It's unbelievable.
It really is impressive. I remember it was a February, I think it was back 2015, where Toronto did not go above the freezing mark for the entire month. And that is equally as challenging as this cold stretch right now. And as we take a look at our 7-day forecast, for example, you can see here, this is more, I don't know, like a March kind of forecast. How do you feel about it, Saf? What would you rather have?
You know what? I haven't been out tobogganing with my kids so far this year. We haven't been out even to the skating rink. We usually do a backyard skating rink. None of that really anytime soon, and even in the long range forecast. So fingers crossed for more of that at least. She's back. Rachel Schoutsen, everybody.
We have to look all the way up into northeastern Ontario to find a decent amount of snow. This video is just calling for someone to snowshoe right across that lake in Coleman, Ontario. looks beautiful. Thanks so much for joining us here at the Weather Network this weekend. I'm Rachel Schoutsen. Safia Kambalia will also be joining us throughout the hour, along with Kevin McKay. We are going to dive into the story across California. It is making headlines right around the globe. An incredible storm, and it's really an incredible system of storms coming their way. Now, as we focus on your story here within Southern Ontario, it's been all about the cloud, all about the mild conditions. It's been tough for the ski hills. We're going to get to that in a second, but I just want to show you this here. When we look at the ice coverage across the lower Great Lakes, there is nothing impressive here. On this date, the highest ice coverage was about 45%. That was back in 1981. Today, we are 3.1%. No one is playing a game of shinny on Lake Erie or Lake Ontario, I'll tell you that. This afternoon, 0 in Toronto, Oakville, 1 in Hamilton, -1 in Kitchener. Now, we talk about the ski hills. It has been extremely tough with this weather, and business is certainly taking a tumble. Have a look. And that's a question that so many people have been asking us here at the Weather Network. When will this pattern change? And the jet stream is really dominating this pattern, and it's holding us in this pattern because we're not seeing too much movement, and we don't really see any big signals of a change. As we look at the 7-day forecast for Barrie, the coldest it gets for a daytime high is -3, overnight down to -8, which is good for some snowmaking, let's say up to places like Horseshoe, Snow Valley, Blue Mountain. Toronto, we go down into the city. These daytime highs looks more like March. So it really is a struggle over the next 7 days to get back into that winter pattern. I know for many people, there's no complaints about this. It's quite enjoyable. You can get out on your lunch break. You can walk the dog a lot easier. But for many, especially those at the ski resorts, this is a very troubling forecast. We'll be back just after this.